Greetings, fellow space nerds, humans of Earth, and beyond. I'm Cornelius, back again with more Starfield shipbuilding. Today, I've got build number 127, BONECAT, a Class C fast attack frigate. If you ever wondered what an F-14 Tomcat and a B1B Lancer, affectionately known as the Bone, would look like if they had a baby in space, well, here we are. Hopefully this ship's name isn't too on the nose, but I find it rather appropriate. And BONECAT is pretty fun to say. I tend to draw ship inspiration from all over the place, really, but I'd say primarily military aviation, as well as established sci-fi universes, are very good sources for said inspiration. And who doesn't like space planes? Even though our need for conventional wings is, well, non-existent, I'd like to think of conventional wings actually out in vacuum as some type of radiator or solar panel or something along those lines. I very much love how these engine nacelles came out. I made some last minute changes and I'm super happy I did. It's funny how you can build a ship for weeks and then one day you just look at it different and change a couple parts and makes a huge difference. Anyways, here we are. Hope you guys like this one. I most certainly did. BONECAT streaking through a quasar near you. Let's check her out. This has got to be one of my favorite ship profiles I've done yet. Oh, come on. More Bethesda jank. Oh well. But yeah, this overall shape right here does a lot for me. This is my first time using those TIG weapons under the underbelly there, and it I think it really looks some type of way. That missile merge is also pretty sweet. We'll get into that in the build. And then these damn engine nacelles, I really love the way they came out. I feel like they very much model the engine nacelles of the B1B Lancer. And then we've got our twin tails up there, very much in alignment with F-14 Tomcat. I used those Deimos vertical bumpers up there on the dorsal side of the ship. My headcanon there is it's some type of jamming pod or scanning array or whatever suits your fancy there. Only a tiny bit of that sunburst orange on this one. I promised y'all I wouldn't use it too heavily, but I had to use it a little bit. Oh well. Let's check out this interior through this one-of-a-kind ship's bay. We enter into a Falkland 2x1 control station. Added a little weapon placement. First aid kit. The docker is also right above the lander, so or right above the bay, so we keep that in the same spot. These Falkland Habs are fantastic. There really isn't much to add. Just a little small bits here and there. Now we enter into our main shared space. This is a 2x1 Matiliga Hab. Here's a comm station. And then opposite that, we have a small medical station. But my headcanon here is that this medical table can basically heal anything, so we don't need a giant med bay. Some more counters here into the galley. This is galley, mess hall, and a little chill area for the crew. And here's a small coffee station. You know we gotta have coffee on my ships. Pretty solid use of the space, I think. And over here in the corner I just put a small armory area in case, you know, we have to ditch or something. And back here is our crew quarters. Some storage for the crew. This is all done with furnish your ships and better buildable walls. We've got our restroom. And then I was able to make a tiny captain's quarters, but I think it's a pretty efficient use of the space. I fit pretty much everything I could want to fit in here. Now we'll make our way back up to the bridge. And this is the Tiger Shipyards version of the Deimos Bridge. Not much different on the inside. There is a usable computer right there. And then I added these extra panels and screens. Added a shoddy for the pilot. And that's a wrap. Let's build her. Step 1, real quick with this one. This is our 2 habs, our bay, our docker, and our bridge. I'll see ya in the next one. Step 2, we've got dorsal structural bits, as well as our reactor and shield and grav drive in the stern. There is a good amount of merging on this build, but I really tried to lay this out in a way that was easy to follow, as long as you go in order with what I'm doing. Unfortunately, there is a lot of placing parts and then moving some that you've already placed to put other ones, and that's rather unavoidable. But here's our actual main engine. I'm headcanoning it as a extra reactor booster for our decorative engines, but you can do whatever you like. And here's a bit of shipbuilder fun. Sometimes getting these Matilda shield boosters to merge properly, well, here you can see it's sometimes difficult, but as long as you keep moving things around, you should eventually get the merge that we're looking for. Yes, like that. Alright. Now here's one of those situations where it's just easier to move this shield than attach this arrangement of armor plates, and then move the center plate, reattach the shield, reattach the center plate. Now these Deimos bumpers could really fit in either of these attachment methods. One of them is attaching them directly to the Habs, and one of them is attaching them on top of the Trinity plates. So it's really a personal preference here, because that particular structural bit doesn't really matter at all for the build. Step 3. This is going to be some Ventral structural bits and our Tiger shipyards. I believe he calls these weapons suppressors, but they are in fact particle beams, and rather powerful ones at that. Oh, I lied. He calls them disruptors. Either way, I don't know why I haven't used these before. They're really sweet, they're rather powerful, and they look pretty freaking cool. So you'll be seeing these in future builds for sure. There is a decent amount of merging here, but as long as you orient these Deimos spines in this way, and you attach everything in this specific order, you will get to the conclusion that I got. But of course, hit pause. You know, that's the beauty. I can't speak. That's the beauty of YouTube. When I rebuild these ships for y'all, I am not building them the original way. I am trying to rebuild them in a way that's easy to follow, because my build style is scattered all over the place, and I leapfrog from 3 or 4 ships at a time over several weeks, if not longer. Adding parts here, deleting parts here, tweaking this, tweaking that. So you'll see in some future sections here, I have to kind of relearn how to build the ship when I'm doing these guides sometimes, and unfortunately this is one of those. But just follow along in the specific order that I do this, and you should get the same results. Step 4, the wing. Got to apologize up front on this one. I completely forgot how I built this in the first place for this section, and this is my best attempt at relearning that. So I did keep one side intact for reference for you and me. But if you just follow along in this specific order and you assemble these wing parts like so, we should be at least arriving at a similar conclusion. So again, apologies, but this is the best I could do. These wings, formerly Daretech, now Varun Zev, still some of the best shapes for wings. He actually just updated this mod as well and added several more parts. So if you haven't checked out Daretech, now Varun Zev, in a while, I'd recommend it. All the parts are also now available in the shipbuilder, so you do not have to go to his star yard for the parts. So that makes things a bit easier. Now for this wing, if you just assemble it in this order, we've got our two laser cannons under that part. But if you just assemble in this order and get the same shape I've got here on the screen, it will attach to the main fuselage that you got so far. Should attach with no problems. Now, the back of that Trinity cowling is what is attaching to this sideways Deimos spine. So as long as you have the row of sideways Deimos spines on the ship before you attach this wing part, you should have no problems. Now when it comes to the fuel cells, you can really merge them in here anywhere. There is another one on the other side, so wherever you want to fit these two, it really doesn't matter. Because there's so much blending going on here in this wing, you can hide them pretty much anywhere. Now this rear pair of Nova Gear are in the same slot as the front ones, but they are reversed. And they are actually attaching to that highlighted Matilija wing, but they're occupying essentially the same space as the ones up front. So this tail merge centers around this decorative flipped over cargo hold, and primarily the attachment points on the side of it, because that is how we are going to attach this entire tail assembly to the fuselage of the ship. Now just bear with me here a second as I do this wrong a couple times until I figure it out and do it right. Alright, so once you get one side, just mirror it exactly on the other side, and everything should fit rather well. We are now getting into the final step. This is going to be our engine nacelles. So these engines actually attach underneath that Avon Tech wing, so you will be able to attach them rather easily. I did leave one intact for reference, and then we are going to build this other one right here. The whole nacelle starts with these Nova mini bracers on top of each other, and then because the attachment points are so close to each other, it creates a nice little merge here with these Deimos spines. They kind of just look like one piece. So just follow along here, and then everything attaches pretty simply here with these nacelles. I really like this missile launcher merge because it kind of just makes them look like one large pack, and it's virtually a perfect merge right there. That's a pretty sweet detail. So the way that this front piece is going to attach to those mini bracers is basically you have to get this in here to where the top and bottom in Trinity plates, just like that, essentially are connecting to those two mini bracers inside the nacelle. That is your connection point to get the front centered. And then back here we've got our decorative engines. These are part of the Satyr decorative engines mod, which opens up a bunch of flip possibilities from the other decorative engines mods. And I really like the way that they fit in there, and the huge fireball that they chuck out the back, which is very reminiscent of both the F-14 Tomcats afterburners and the B1B Lancers afterburners. And congratulations, you have now claimed the BONECAT. Hopefully this was not terribly difficult to follow. I did my best. Let's fight! If you made it this far, hell yeah, you rock. Like I said, this was a shorter build. Fate's Embrace was 2 hours of, well, awesome, but 2 hours is, that's a long video for me, so we're going to be in this 40-minute to maybe an hour max range for a good while. The BONECAT was almost an instant favorite for mine as soon as I got the shape and moreover the engine nacelles. Once I got everything built out, it was rather pleasing to the eye. This TIG disruptor weapon setup here under the belly is also a rather cool feature. I originally had some missiles down there, but a few more last minute changes, including these engine nacelles, really brought everything together. This was another fun one. I know I say that about all of them, but that is the point, isn't it? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Stay tuned for more. I'm Cornelius. You can find me in the Star Yard